Hey, it's Stick Hunter here. Today I want to show you exactly how much I earned from stock agencies in May 2024. In this video I go over my earnings from platforms like Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, Getty Images, iStock, Font5, MotionRI, 123RF and Dreamstime. We'll go through each agency one by one, starting with the least profitable and ending with the top earner of the month. If you enjoyed this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It really keeps me motivated to make more videos like this. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I always reply. Alright, let's get started with the first stock agency. Let's start with Dreamstime. This month I sold only one photo there. A close-up of the steering wheel and dashboard of a vintage Volkswagen T1 Transporter, taken at a classic car exhibition. I've actually sold quite a few photos from that car show in the past, so I really enjoy attending these kinds of vintage vehicle events. They always bring some good shots. As for earnings, Dreamstime brought me just 24 cents this month. Now let's move on to 123RF. This month was actually quite unusual. I had 5 sales, which is probably my personal record on this platform. Usually I'm lucky if anything sells at all, so 5 downloads is a nice surprise. The first photo, sold for 22 cents, shows a panoramic view of French vineyards with a nuclear power plant in the background, taken at sunset during slightly rainy weather. The second image, also sold for 22 cents, shows frost-covered garden plants on an extremely cold morning, around minus 20 degrees Celsius. It's a perfect setup for macro photography because the ice crystals on the plants looks amazing in detail. And the third photo, which actually sold 3 times for a total of $2.40, is a panoramic drone shot of a wine farm on a forested mountain ridge captured at dawn. It's one of my favorite spots. I've been there many times, but those early autumn morning shots turned out to be some of the best I've ever taken from this location. So in total, 123RF brought me $2.84 this month. Next up, let's move on to MotionRI. This platform has been growing slowly for me, but I'm still trying to stay consistent and upload new content every month. The uploading process there is quite time consuming since you have to enter all metadata manually for each clip. Still, this month was actually one of my better ones of MotionRI. I earned a total of $6 coming from exactly 100 downloads. I also managed to upload 62 new assets. Now let's take a look at the best performing videos for May. The first one is a TGV high-speed train crossing a viaduct between two hills during a frosty sunrise. The lighting and atmosphere there were just perfect. The second one is an aerial shot over the Rhone River, filmed early in the morning with a beautiful layer of fog floating above the water, glowing in the golden sunlight. And the last one is a winter scene with cars driving through a snowy forest road in the mountain, near Saint-Étienne, a scenic natural park that I filmed several times before. So overall, MotionRI brought me $6 this month, and I'm happy to see slow but steady progress there. Next up is Font5. As you can see, this month I had just one sale, a single 4K video that sold under an individual license for $50, from which my commission was only $20. The clip that sold is part of a series I filmed featuring TGV high-speed trains. I actually have quite a few videos from that location in my portfolio, but only a handful of them, maybe 4 or 5, tend to sell regularly. Interestingly, this is now the third month in a row where I sold exactly one video on Font5, which I still consider a good sign, especially since some months used to bring no sale at all. So overall, not a bad result for May. Let's keep going. The next one and the third most profitable agency this month is Getty Images iStock. As you can see, there were a few downloads this month. Nothing spectacular, but still a solid performance. If you look at the top image, the one with 8 downloads, that's something I've been seeing quite often in my portfolio this year. Those photos seems they have ranked really well in Getty's search results. especially the ones related to solar panels and renewable energy. When it comes to videos, the situation wasn't as good. Only one video sold this month. Usually it's 2 or 3, sometimes even more, but that's just how it goes. Some months are quieter, and buyers simply don't find what they are looking for. Now let's take a look at the top earning photos for May. The first one, sold for $1.13, is a close-up of a wind turbine on a mountain range surrounded by colorful autumn vegetations and light morning fog. It's one of my favorite and most frequently visited shooting locations. The second image, sold for $1.35, shows the limestone cliffs of the Vercors mountain range in France, captured during a hiking trip to the summit. Beautiful light, rugged textures, a classic mountain landscape shot. And finally, my best selling photo this month, solar panels again, with 8 downloads in total, bringing in $2.81. This one continues to perform really well every month. At the end of the list, there is just one video sold this month, a TGV high-speed train crossing a viaduct and entering a tunnel, which earned $12.55. So overall, Getty Images iStock brought me $22.61 this month, making it my third best agency for May. Now let's continue with Shutterstock. This month I had 27 downloads, 26 photos and only one video. Looking at the stats, it doesn't seem like much, so you might be wondering how my monthly total reached $32.27. The reason is contributor fund. Basically, Shutterstock sometimes gives contributors a bonus for contributing content that helps train their AI or improves the platform in some way. This is actually the second bonus I've received this year. The first one was about 2 months ago. Over the past 5 months, these two bonuses have added up to $32.60, which is a nice little addition to the monthly earnings. Now let's look at the top earning photo this month. The first one, sold for 70 cents, is a panoramic night shot of the Notre Dame Basilica in Lyon, beautifully illuminated with the city skyline in the background. The second image, sold for $1.46, showing the church tower with snow-covered mountain surrounding the city, such a stunning winter scene. And the last photo, which earned $7.98, is a composite Photoshop image of the Bermuda flag over cracked dry earth, a combination of two separate images. I created this series of flag composites when I was just starting out with stock photography, trying to experiment at home in Photoshop. Finally, the only video sold on Shutterstock this month is a river cruise ship, more of a restaurant vessel moving along the Rhone River at sunrise. It sold for $2.45, which is a bit frustrating at times because when I saw a video I hope for a bigger payout like $20 or $30, but sometimes the earnings are much lower than expected. So overall, Shutterstock brought me $32.25 this month. Now let's move on to my number one agency for May, Adobe Stock. This month there were a total of 93 downloads. Out of these, 19 were photos, which brought in $17.34. 72 were AI generated illustrations, earning $77.40. And finally, only 2 videos sold, bringing in $8.40. Looking at the weekly breakdown, only one week stood out as more profitable. That was the middle of May, when weekly earnings exceeded $45. The other weeks hovered around $15. In terms of daily downloads, there were 3 days, May 11, 12 and 25, with 0 sales. The highest number of downloads in a single day was 9, mostly thanks to AI generated images, which really drive most of my daily earnings. One of my most profitable days this month was May 13, when I earned $29.70, a very solid result. Now let's go over to the top earning content for May, starting with photos. The first photo sold for $1.99 is a panoramic aerial view of the coastline. Stunning red cliffs dropping into the Mediterranean Sea with a scenic path leading to the beach in Théoule-sur-Mer, just outside Cannes in southern France. The next photo sold for $2 is from a nearby location, a curvy coastal road with railway tracks captured from above in the late evening light, showing the beautiful landscape along the road. The most profitable photo this month, sold for $2.30, is a dam on the Rhone River in France, with a wind farm in the background at sunset. Moving on the illustrations, many of them sold multiple times. One example is a modern hospital operating room, AI generated with Midjourney, sold 3 times for $2.30. Another is one of my most popular illustrations in my portfolio, a sprinter running with the Eiffel Tower in the background. This has been my top downloaded AI image and sold 7 times this month for a total of $4.40. A similar theme related to the Paris Olympic Games shows a hand holding the Olympic torch. This AI illustration sold 3 times for a total of $27.12, with one single sale around $26, one of my highest individual AI sales on Adobe Stock. Finally, for videos, the first clip sold for $2.80, a panoramic drone shot of snowy mountains and the surrounding scenic landscape. The second one, sold for $5.60, is a drone flight over ripening vineyards with beautiful mountainous scenery. In total, Adobe Stock earned me $102.88, making it my top earning agency for May. And that's it for this month. Here's the full monthly summary across all stock agencies. In May, I earned a total of $186.84. Compared to last month, that's almost half, but that's just how stock agencies work. One month can be strong, the next slower. It all depends on your portfolio, what kind of content you have, and whether it's something buyers are actively looking for. This month, a total of 255 assets were downloaded. Some agencies like Wirestock, IEM, Deposit Photos, Big Stock, and Alamy didn't bring in any sale, but I'm steadily adding new content to all platforms. Remember, this is completely hobby driven, a way to earn passive income alongside my regular work. It's not a fixed salary, so earning $186 in one month is a very solid result. Looking back at May 2023, I earned $81.87, so this year with $186.84, that's an increase of almost $105, a great improvement and very motivating. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful for understanding stock photography and passive income, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye!